Hey everybody, welcome to Aroma Chat. It's Melissa here. I have my British breakfast tea as always, and I've got some blood orange in my diffuser. It is so rainy outside right now. We are in the middle of our rainy season over here on Guam. So the rain's just coming down and I needed a little bit of joy. So I put that blood orange in there and oh, it's so amazing. It's a little bit different than the typical sweet orange that you get. It feels thicker, if that makes any sense at all. It feels a little bit thicker in the air, which is kind of what I need today, just something that's going to hold on and bring that joy. But today we're going to be chatting with Marie Olson. She's a friend of mine that I met when I moved here to Guam. Kind of in a roundabout way. Somebody said, hey, there's another aromatherapist over there. You should meet her. So I hooked up with her. And we moved here 4 days before the pandemic hit, so we were in lockdown almost since day one of arriving, and set up a couple of Zoom chats to get to know each other. And when the restrictions were lifted just a little bit, we actually met for lunch one day, and I was able to sit and chat with her face to face, which was so much fun. Since then, though, they have moved back to the States, so I'm going to be talking with her a little bit about her transition and about her business. So how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
I'm trying to figure out how to make this. What does it say? Make today
a little special, just a little.
Okay, it's backwards on my screen, so
a little special, not too much special, just a little special. We don't need too much special anymore. The world is special enough right now. My word.
2020 has been really special.
How has your transition gone?
We're loving like the amenities here and
Good.
the freedoms here. Because coming from restriction in Guam, it's like amazing to be able to go shopping and like go to a restaurant because we couldn't do that there.
Right.
So that's been nice. And, the base is nice. And so, we're adjusting. I'm loving the cooler weather. It's been in like the 50s and 60s in the mornings. And I'm like,
I know. And you'll have to send me pictures the first time that you go blueberry picking or apple picking or something, because I so miss being able to go to an orchard and pick fruit.
Yeah, we were hoping to be able to do that. Unfortunately, the orchards are all closed. So they're not allowing you to do it. I want to say you could do drive-by and they would like hand you a like basket, but it's not really the same. So,
well, that's better than here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can at least get strawberries and blueberries and apples.
Oh, yeah.
Decent. So, yeah.
And I don't feel bad when the kids don't eat all the strawberries before they go bad here because they don't cost like an entire car.
Right. I was telling somebody the other day, I've been having a lot of muscle cramping. So I've increased my magnesium, but now I've added in the potassium. So I went and bought some bananas. Back in Texas, it was like 35 cents for a pound. And I'm like, it's like $1 a pound here, people, for bananas.
Yeah.
And if they go bad, I mean, I'm beating myself up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so,
I know what you're talking about.
I used to freeze bananas.
I dehydrate mine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would peel them and freeze them, and then they're great in smoothies because they are like frozen without having to dilute it with ice.
Right. So. I brought my Excalibur dehydrator with me, knowing how expensive things were going to be here. So I'm just I get my citric acid, I do the bath, I dehydrate them, and then I can have like 10 slices equals 1 banana. So I just eat 10 chunks a day and I'm good to go. But so expensive. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had friends that had been stationed in Hawaii, and they always complained about how expensive Hawaii was. And we went to Hawaii for like a week, not long after we got to Guam, and we were like, oh my gosh, produce is so cheap here. And so then our friends that moved from Hawaii to Guam, I was trying to tell them, I'm like, so Guam's more expensive and there's less selection, and they were like, yeah, we thought you were kidding. And then we got here and we're like, wow, she was just trying to prepare us.
Yeah. My sister is a Trim Healthy Mama coach. So she's always trying to tell me, go buy this, go buy that, go get this. And I every time she does that, I have to sit and explain to her, you don't understand. You don't get it. We don't have those things here.
Yep.
I have to special order if I want those things.
And then a lot of places won't ship. So like
exactly.
when one year for my kid's birthday, my sister-in-law sent him Target gift cards. And I was like, so we don't have Target here. And she's like, oh, I figured that, but I figured you could just have stuff shipped there. I'm like, they don't ship here. That would be why I said, if you're going to send him something, just give him a check. Right. Because he literally can't do any shopping here.
Right. Oh, I know. I told my husband just yesterday, when I go back to the States next summer, because I'm going back for our annual conference and I've got a bunch of other things I need to get done, I will go to Kohl's and I will buy all of the things that we need for the next year and a half. And I will mail them back before I come home. So I was like, whatever business clothes you need new shoes, you just let me know, because I'm going to buy it all while I'm there and send it back. Because, I mean, I either have to send it to someone in the States to have them send it here. It just doesn't make any sense. And I can't find the things that I like here. So
it was hard finding sizes for me there, because I feel like everybody there is like shorter and like has smaller feet. And I don't feel like my feet are huge, but
you're tall. I didn't realize how tall you were until I met you in person. I was like, oh, dang, she's tall. She's a tall girl. I mean, I know tall people, but I guess being in isolation for so long before we met, I forgot that people were different sizes than me. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's hard to tell when you're like watching a video how tall people are. That's why it's always so interesting to me, like reading about like celebrities that you see like in movies and stuff, like how they're like what height they actually are. Because you're like, oh, I thought they were taller than that. Oh, I thought they were shorter than that.
Like, and I imagine when we showed up to Pika's that you looked at me like, oh, she's really short.
No, I don't think so. I don't remember you being really short.
Oh, okay. I think I'm average for Guam.
Your hair looks pretty though. I like it.
Thank you. I actually used a blow dryer today for the first time. You know,
are you growing it out? It seems like it's longer.
It's much longer. It's not that I'm intentionally growing it out, but we are 6 months into restrictions. So, and I can't do my own. So I figure, you know, when I get back to the States next June, I'll get my hair done.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out like where a good place to get my hair done is, because I usually keep mine shorter too. Like usually mine's like about chin length. Right. So mine's kind of long for me, but yeah.
And I don't usually blow dry or anything like that, so I think it grows really well, you know, because I don't torture my hair, you know. Mm-hmm. So, but I did blow dry it this morning because I went for a walk and it's raining and I didn't want to, you know, look like a wet dog on our video chat. So yeah, I used the blow dryer today. First time since I've been here in 6 months.
Yeah, that's about how often I use the blow dryer.
So let's go ahead and dive in.
Okay.
All right. So I know that you're not necessarily practicing just straight up aromatherapy anymore. Is that correct?
Yeah, not really.
Tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you're doing.
Well, my name is Marie Olson, and I am actually a functional nutritional therapy practitioner and a certified professional aromatherapist. I was actually the first aromatherapist on Guam before you moved to Guam.
I know. I was so excited to meet you.
Yeah, and then a friend of mine that went to the same school as me became the second aromatherapist on Guam, and then she ended up moving. So I was the only one on Guam until you got there, which was really exciting. I was like, yay, there's somebody else that I could chat aromatherapy with. I was so excited. Now that I've moved back to the States, of course, I'm not the only certified aromatherapist in my state anymore, but I actually got started with essential oils when I was going through my functional nutritional therapy program. A friend of mine that was a nurse kind of talked to me about them. She's like, you know, have you ever heard of essential oils? She's like, I think it would really complement your program that you're studying. And I was like, no, what is that? Is that something you cook with? Like, I had no idea. I'd never heard of essential oils. And so she invited me to a workshop that a friend of hers was holding. And I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And it kind of piqued my interest. And a lot of the information that was being shared, I was like, I don't know how accurate this is. And so that kind of prompted me to seek out education, because I'm always one to dive in. I'm like a lifelong student. I love learning. And so I discovered Aromahead Institute School of Aromatherapy. And so I started taking classes there. And eventually became a certified aromatherapist because I'd taken so many classes.
Right. Funny how that happens.
And you can never learn too much. So,
right.
So I ended up becoming a certified aromatherapist. And so when I was in Guam, I was actually doing nutrition and aromatherapy because there really wasn't a lot available there.
Right.
And so then now that we've moved back to the States, because there's a lot more options here in the States, I've kind of branched out and I'm doing a little bit different things now, but I still use my aromatherapy education a lot with what I do. And I still educate people about the proper use of essential oils and that kind of thing. So I still find that it complements what I'm doing really well.
Sure. Well, and I think it's really important because we do have the knowledge, we do have the background, we do have the education. Something that I think we forget is just because I've pursued something doesn't mean I actually have to continue in that path, because our paths diverge and they go in different directions. And that information is kind of a stepping stone to move to the next thing, and sometimes even the next thing, and building and building and building. But we still have the knowledge. We still need to pass it on to people. When we see things that are not safe, we need to say something and draw on that knowledge. So functional nutrition, is that kind of where you've landed now?
So I actually have not. I actually, right before we moved to Guam, I was in the process of becoming board certified in holistic nutrition. And I had already taken my board exams and I was just working on my client hours, and then we moved to Guam. A lot of the supplements that I like to recommend don't ship to Guam, and then just getting the additional certifications and licensing to be able to do that on Guam was more of a challenge. So I kind of put it on the back burner and focused on aromatherapy. And then now that we're back, I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep doing that because it's a lot of work. I loved working with clients, but it is really a lot of work. And now that my kids are a little bit older and I feel like they need a little bit more help with school, and I really wanted something that was going to be a little bit more flexible. So I'm actually with a direct sales company now called Lemongrass Spa. I started it when I was in Guam. I was the first director, and now I'm the first director here in Delaware. But I really feel that aromatherapy complements it because it's a fresh, clean, natural. They use a lot of essential oils and natural plant extracts in their products that they sell. One of the things that I really like is I can actually educate clients of mine now about essential oils and how to use them, and knowing how to pick out safe essential oils and proper dilution and using them with your family and in your home. And so that's actually been really helpful. One of the things that I really like about the company is they do have a lot of certified aromatherapists in the field. And so they do provide safe use instructions and proper dilution recommendations. And anyone that orders an essential oil gets a reference guide on how to dilute and how to use it and what ages it's appropriate for, which is kind of rare with most companies that sell essential oils. And so that's one of the things that I really like about it. And then, essential oils are so versatile and you can do so many things with them that I really like having that option to give to people as another method to help reduce stress and help increase, better sleep and reducing muscle pain and that kind of thing.
So with your focus at Lemongrass Spa now, what kind of things are people coming to you for? Like, what's the most common thing that people seek out Lemongrass Spa for?
One of the things people are usually looking for with Lemongrass Spa is just kind of ditching and switching like what they're normally using that may have more toxic ingredients for something that's a little bit safer. And one of the things that drew me to Lemongrass Spa was I was making a lot of these products myself before, but living on Guam, getting the items shipped to there is very expensive. And so it was kind of cost prohibitive. So to make a single deodorant sometimes would cost like $15 or $20 by the time I got all the supplies. And so Lemongrass Spa is much more affordable, and they're using all the same ingredients that I was already using. So to be able to give people that option is really nice. And then just makeup, which I did not make myself, and skincare products and that kind of thing, I think has really been something that appeals to a lot of people.
So what was one of your biggest stumbling blocks in getting Lemongrass Spa off the ground for you?
I wouldn't say this was necessarily for Lemongrass Spa, but just in general, with having a business and being an entrepreneur, the frequent moves that we make, because my husband's in the military. We lived in Las Vegas for 18 months. We were in Guam for 2.5 years. We're going to be here for 2 years. So the frequent moves can sometimes be a challenge, but that's one of the things that I love this business, because it gives me that flexibility and that ability to set my own schedule that I need with our family and my kids being older. And, so it's been really helpful. So I think that that's actually been both a blessing and kind of a curse, because, it's terrible to have to move so frequently, but it's really nice that I can just kind of pick up and go and still have this virtual business to do everywhere I go.
Right. And so with Lemongrass Spa, you don't have to set up your own LLC. Each place you move, it's all done under their umbrella, correct?
So I just have to get a business license because I'm doing business. And so that's been much easier than having to get recertified in every state with nutrition and all the additional licensure and everything that goes along with having your board certification and the different exams and that kind of thing.
That's really nice, especially for military people moving all the time. That's good to know. That's really helpful. So let me see if I can phrase my question correctly. Like, I understand, like I've done Tupperware, I know Mary Kay. Is it similar?
Yes. So it's a party plan company like Tupperware is, or like Mary Kay is, where we like to demonstrate the products either one-on-one or in a group or a party, so that we can kind of introduce the options that we have to our customers. And one of the things that I love is that it's so easy to demonstrate, even virtually, because most people know how to use shampoo. Most people know how to use deodorant. It's not a big learning curve like a lot of essential oils are, but having that additional training that I have as an aromatherapist gives me kind of that edge, because I can tell people how to properly use the essential oils and how to incorporate them into their life and use them safely and appropriately. So that's one of the things that I really enjoy about this particular company.
So does Lemongrass Spa also, you said they sell essential oils? They have like their own line?
Yes. So one of the things that I love about their essential oils is they're all either organic or wild crafted. So you don't have to worry about any kind of contamination from pesticides, which is nice.
That is very nice. So do they sell just single oils, or do they have blends?
They actually have both. So they do have some single oils like eucalyptus and sweet orange and lemon and peppermint, lavender. And then they also have some proprietary blends.
Okay, that's really cool. That's really cool. So what's getting you super excited right now, on a personal level or a professional level?
Oh, that's a hard question. Maybe the fact that 2020 is almost over.
Oh, that's a beautiful thought, right?
I'm really hopeful that 2021 is going to be a new beginning for many reasons. I really am excited for, what's to come in 2021, and hopefully the pandemic that we've all been experiencing for the last several months will be kind of on the downslope, and people will be recovered, and everyone will be more healthy. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I love sharing my business with people and getting them to know that there are safer options available. I actually did a whole ditch and switch series on my YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
So if people are looking for a safer alternative to makeup, makeup actually has a lot of toxic chemicals in it. And so I have broken it down so it's in small, like easy to watch videos. They're not very long, maybe 10 to 15 minutes or less. And it talks about safer alternatives to your everyday chemical laden products.
Very nice. How can people find you?
So my business name, actually, since I was under the umbrella of my holistic wellness, which was nutrition and aromatherapy and Lemongrass Spa, my business name is NutriSimplicity, which is like nutrition and simplicity.
Okay.
So NutriSimplicity, I have a YouTube channel. It's, I think it's just youtube.nutrisimplicity.com or nutrisimplicity.youtube.com. And then nutrisimplicity.com is my main website. Spa.nutrisimplicity.com is for Lemongrass Spa. So I have a little bit of everything that I cover on my main website. And then if you want to look into specific topics, then there's like keywords like spa or catalog or.
So are you on Facebook?
I am on Facebook. So you can either find me on NutriSimplicity, which is my business page, or Marie Olson's Lemongrass Spa page, which is my Lemongrass Spa page. Okay. Or you can just find me personally. I'm just Marie Olson on Facebook.
Okay. And how about any of the other social platforms? Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest? I mean, how many are there now?
I have not gotten on the Twitter bandwagon, but I am on LinkedIn and Pinterest and what else did you say? Instagram. Oh, Instagram. So I have pretty much all of them except for Twitter or Snapchat.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't tweet. I don't TikTok. I don't Snapchat. Yeah, it's too much. It's just too much. All right. Well, do you have any last little nuggets you want to leave everybody with?
Well, I know when we were kind of talking ahead of time, you said you wanted to know like what my 3 favorite essential oils were. So I have 3 that I love. One is grapefruit. And I just love it's very bright and it's very uplifting. And so I tend to diffuse that when I'm working in my office because I just feel like it helps lighten the mood.
Right.
I love lemongrass, which is really funny because I work for Lemongrass Spa. But to me, it's very energizing. I like to diffuse it, especially with our frequent moves, because to me, whenever I'm diffusing lemongrass, I tend to get rid of more stuff.
Okay.
And then my last one is balsam fir. So I absolutely love how refreshing it is. I love diffusing that in any kind of blends. If you have muscle discomfort, it's really helpful for opening up the respiratory system. So I really like that one. And to me, it smells like the fall and winter season as you're preparing for the holidays. And so it's just a very happy scent to me.
Oh, that's amazing. I think we'll go ahead and close, but I want to thank you so much for meeting with me and coming on Aroma Chat. Good luck in Delaware. Enjoy the tax-free shopping.
Yes, big perk.
And the much lower prices. And what's the food service you're using? Is it HelloFresh?
HelloFresh, and I absolutely love it. So it's so nice having like freshly curated ingredients, and then they just give you everything you need. So there's a lot less food waste. And so far, we've liked everything except for one meal my husband and my son didn't particularly care for, but we've liked everything else, which has been nice.
That's great. And you're back in the States, so you have full access to all that stuff. So
yes.
It's so amazing the things that you're like, oh, I can only dream of that while you're sitting over here in Guam. All right. Thank you so much, Marie. I appreciate you. And hopefully some people will find you at Lemongrass Spa and grow your business for you.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.